We got some big news coming out of AEW today. We're going to be talking about it all in today's video. As always, timestamps in the description down below. I was gone for a couple days, had some things to take care of, but now we're back, and I'm super excited about some AEW Fight Forever news. Guys, AEW dropped the announcement. AEW Fight Forever is coming out on June 29th, and it is available on all major consoles: Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox, PC, all the good stuff. Now, as you guys know, I have said time and time before, I've been relatively excited for the game, and it doesn't necessarily change, right? I know a lot of people are talking about the graphics of the game and, oh, it's 2023 and graphics matter and all of these different things. But quite honestly, guys, we just need an alternative game to WWE 2K, right? For so many years, we didn't really have a competitor to WWE 2K. And I think it's really good to have multiple wrestling games on the market, especially ones that have relatively big developers. So with WWE 2K23 and then AEW Fight Forever, I do think both of them are going to be very different. We already know that Community Creations is missing from the game for AEW Fight Forever, and I think that is a very questionable choice. I think that's a very bad choice. I think you definitely need the creators and the modders to implement and add things to the game. However, just looking at the pure, like the core gameplay and everything like that, I think there is a lot of intrigue on my end for this particular game. I think AEW Fight Forever, it's going to be a solid start, right? Obviously, we haven't played it. We haven't seen too much of it, but from what we have seen, it looks like this game is going to be something that they're constantly adding to with DLC and things like that. So, look, I'm going to be getting it for the Switch. I'm going to be getting it for my PlayStation. I'm going to get it for my PC. I'm going to do these things. I want physical copies. I want digital copies. I want to have this game and be able to play the game. And the fact that it's missing some features will definitely suck. But at the same time, too, I'm okay with that if the game will be fun and if it's playable and it's enjoyable. And I know for me personally, like, I want to stream it on the channel. I want to play with my friends and my cousins and everybody else who wants to play AEW Fight Forever. It's good to see more wrestling games come out. It would actually be really nice, and even though I don't think it's likely, it would be really nice to see, New Japan or even AAA have a video game too, because just more wrestling games in general would be really fun, and you have to wonder if potentially some other developers would want to get their hands on a wrestling game. And I guess we'll see by the numbers, right? If AEW Fight Forever sells, who knows what that means for Impact or any of these other companies, but it would be really cool to see something from a major developer because of the fact that most wrestling games right now that are being developed are currently being developed by indie companies. So Ukes and AEW teamed up for Fight Forever. It's definitely missing some features, but at any point in time they can add new features, and we know that it's expected to get updates throughout time. But yeah, June 29th, we finally have a date. Seems like we were waiting for a very long time, but the good news is it's coming. Guys, AEW Collision apparently not selling well, and I see a lot of people are talking about this on social media, and I'll be honest with you guys, being away for the weekend and just, kind of taking my mind off a little bit of AEW and all the drama that's going on with CM Punk and everything that's happening in the company. It's shocking that a lot of people are so quick to judge AEW and call Collision a failure. Collision is yet to appear on TV. Now, I've said it before. The time slot is not for me. I personally am not in favor of this time slot. I'm not in favor of Saturday night shows. I'm not in favor of Friday night shows. I don't like that. I think WWE and AEW need to get their programming off of Friday and Saturday nights unless it is a pay-per-view. I can make time for a pay-per-view, but I feel like a lot of people are in the same boat as me where they don't want to just sit home on a Saturday night and watch wrestling. Now, I'm not the only one who appears to feel that way because it appears that AEW is struggling to sell tickets for their shows. And look, guys, AEW doing Collision, there's not a lot of hype behind it. That's just the reality. Nobody really knows exactly what AEW is going to do with Collision and how it's going to be different from Dynamite. And I think a lot of people, especially in this economy today, a lot of people are looking at this from a perspective of, we will wait and see. So right now, yes, like some of these shows are not moving tickets, right? But at the same time, too, nobody really knows what to expect from AEW Collision to begin with. And then also, in addition to that, they've already announced like 1, 2, 3, maybe 5 episodes already. So the thing is, we still don't even know what's going to happen to the first Collision. We don't know if it's going to be in Chicago still. We don't know if they're moving it to Daly's place. For those who don't know, the rumor is that AEW is looking at moving the show from United Center to Daly's place in case CM Punk doesn't work the event. I'm so tired of the CM Punk AEW drama. To be honest with you, to me, it's a head scratcher. I think it looks stupid. I think everything about it is dumb. That's just the reality, right? But AEW, obviously, they're going to Toronto, they're going to Hamilton, Saskatchewan, Alberta. Then they're doing Collision in Newark, New Jersey. They have quite a few shows lined up. Of course, some of these shows aren't going to sell tickets because people don't know what to expect. People don't know what's going on with CM Punk. People don't know what's going on with AEW. And I think a lot of people are waiting and waiting and waiting. And I think the good thing for AEW is, and I don't know why wrestling fans do this, but just because they announce an event right away doesn't mean it can't sell out later, right? A lot of people have this expectation that WWE and AEW are going to sell like 30,000 tickets right away. And I just don't think that's realistic in this economy and the way the world works these days. I think a lot of people are wait and see. A lot of people are a little bit more frugal, and a lot of people are really just waiting to see what happens with storylines and matches and cards and things like that. You know, WWE and AEW come to Detroit, and they do fairly well in Detroit, but most of the tickets end up selling a lot later or even closer to the event because of the fact that they get to see what's announced and everything like that. And right now, nobody really knows what to expect with Collision, so it's not necessarily shocking. Now, one thing that AEW could be doing here is introducing a new general manager, and this is really interesting. For those who missed it, Stokely Hathaway on Twitter posted a video, and in this video, it appears that he's taking over an office in Jacksonville, Florida. And he's putting up his frames and everything like that, and obviously they're getting ready to reveal something. Now, I'm going to be honest. If there's one thing I really think AEW did wrong, the firm. The firm was never part of major plans. It was never part of this major thing in the company. The firm has definitely been a failure in the company. Stokely Hathaway could be utilized better. He doesn't need to be with the firm, and I honestly think the firm is pretty much done, right? Stokely Hathaway's a funny guy. He's a great character. He's great on screen. It's not like this guy's going to be wrestling. And I've always said this, AEW and WWE need authority figures in some capacity. I'm not going to sit here and explain it for 30 minutes, but to give you the TLDR, basically, you need to have some sort of agent or some sort of authority figure just explaining why certain matches are being made, why certain decisions are being made. They shouldn't be part of like the main focal point. They should never be part of the main story. I don't want to see like old school GMs, but I want to see authority figures on TV in some capacity just to explain things on television as to why things are being done. And I think it's also a really good point that if you're trying to put talent over, having them involved in some capacity where maybe they're not getting title shots or whatever it may be, it could be because of the authority figure. Stokely Hathaway is a likable guy. He's funny. I think he's really good at what he does. I think this would be a perfect guy to become the GM. And it appears that AEW is teasing something here. And look, Tony Khan said he never wanted to be an on-screen figure. I think this definitely helps with that. And again, because Stokely is actually really popular and people enjoy him, I think it could be a really good thing. As long as they don't use Stokely Hathaway to take away from the entire show and everything else. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. I'm sure there's going to be mixed opinions as always, but I can't wait to see what you got to say.